Welcome to Follow Your Joy podcast, where intuition is the doorway to your elevated creativity, more joy, and prosperity. I'm your host, Marla Diane, and I've been living an intuitive life for decades as a creative. That translates to transforming creative entrepreneurs' lives for over 27 years through two businesses as a business strategist and a life designer. And prior to that, an entertainment publicist and talent manager. Follow Your Joy is an entrepreneurial resource for creatives sharing their challenge to victory stories through the lens of listening to their intuition. It's time to make joy your inner GPS for life and business decisions rather than lean on your logic and reason first. You'll not only be following what is most authentic for you, but you will live the beautiful life meant just for you. Want to learn how to access, trust, or up-level your intuition? Join me in the conversation to find out how. Well, happy holidays, creatives. We are just, 2 weeks away from Christmas. Oh, today is December 11th. So the life of an entrepreneur certainly has its twists and turns and highs and lows, for sure. And as many have said, and I agree completely, that being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, right, is one of the best self-development courses you can ever take. Right? And in that is why having a mentor and a coach or coach help navigate this journey, right? Which is vital to your success. I could never, ever imagine what I've been doing for 16 years without a coach, because I never go without one. Can't even imagine. I mean, right from the beginning, since 2008, my very first coach was I was in business 1 month, and I go, you show me what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing. I wasn't even willing to take the risk of figuring it out on my own. Are you kidding me? And I had never been coached in business. All right. So all that to say is that, that again, mentor, that coach really helps navigate, of course, your success. So not only does my guest today, live this life, but she is considered one of the top, what I call soul-driven women business coaches in the world, right? On our planet. And where her story gets very real is when her personal challenges became her catalyst for deep, deep change. And she will be explaining, and this is in her words, none of her professional and business success equipped her more than overcoming immense personal challenges from earlier in her life, which you're going to hear today. And I call it challenge to breakthrough, the gift and the challenge, right? So with that, welcome. I love it, Wendy. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. I am always, delighted to have you and because we've been together for a little while, right?
Yeah.
It's about 20, I think 16 for that.
Yeah, we've done some fun collaborations together. Yeah.
So before we dive into the questions, let me give you, a proper introduction and share how we know each other, right? Where we came from. Okay. So Wendy helps, and this is, boy, do I get this, right? Wendy helps burnt out women, right, who are frustrated and confused about why their dreams, right, their desires or goals are not coming true, right, to unlock, monetize, and scale their dream business and life, right? She's a seasoned coach with over a decade as CEO of her thriving coaching enterprise, as she equips women, right, to monetize their passions and transform their lives, their families, and their communities. And on a side note, there's still more, but on a side note, that's really crucial, everybody, to women, is that women being that, our beautiful feminine, if you will, power, is that we're very all encompassing, right? Everything around us touches us. Different from the masculine, where it's very focused, very specific, very black and white, right? Very structured, very one thought in front of you. So when something like she helps transform their lives, families, and communities, it's true. It's very, very true. It's very all encompassing. So as I continue, is that her trademark SoulFUEL, which we're going to find out what that means, framework helps women discover and embody their purpose. We love that. Leverage their skills and prosper financially while staying true to their values and their authenticity. Boy, and in today's world, that's not easy. It's just not easy. We need to really have someone that's helping us with that. So, drawing from her rich background in psychology, like communication, leadership coaching, and marketing, she guides her clients on how to grow online businesses without compromising their integrity or succumbing to social media pressures. Love that. So Wendy is the host of SoulFUEL podcast, right? And she has been a committed advocate for causes like human trafficking, eradication, and as a court-appointed special advocate, okay, helping abused children reclaim their power. And Wendy loves to travel, the outdoors, right? She's a nature mama, and being with man she loves and promoting health and medical freedom. And, which I'm leading to this, she's the creator and host of Ticket to Freedom Virtual Summit, which is how we met back in 2016. I'm actually on my third time. Thank you very much. You're going to hear more about that. That is literally happening this week as this podcast releases. It's the 11th year, correct? Yeah.
11th season.
11th season, sorry, 11th season. And this is my third time back. So yay! All right. So let's get going. Let's talk about some really, really life-changing stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So why don't you kind of share the highlights of your journey? What challenge happened in your life, kind of that led you to this career, right? And you being known as this business soul connector.
Yes. Well, Marla, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's always good to work with you, and I'm happy to be here with you and everyone watching. So thank you. So I, graduated from college and went right into corporate America. I happened to be living in the Silicon Valley at the time, so kind of in the middle of the heyday of online everything. And just went right into these big companies who were, pioneering the technologies and the internet and everything that's been going on ever since, kind of dating myself a little bit. But it was an interesting place for me to land because I have a psychology and communications degree, which is because I am so fascinated by human beings and human development and, how our past affects our present and just how we can mold and shape our lives. And I was planning to become a therapist and help adults who were abused as children. That was my original goal. But I've been on my own, independent from my parents since I was 16 years old. And I accumulated quite a bit of debt and having to care for myself and graduate from high school and college, fully on my own. So when I graduated college, I had all this debt and I wasn't prepared to go on and get my master's to become a therapist. So I ended up in this corporate job to pay the bills and pay the debt. It turned out to be a real blessing, I think, because I landed in a direct marketing department and immediately started getting shaped and molded, into this marketing person, which came fairly easily for me because I am a communicator. I love words. I love psychology. I love communication. So all of that is marketing. Marketing is relationship. So it's just those skills fit very well. I was meant to do something more that there was an empty space that wasn't filled, that my life experience, which was quite unusual, my upbringing and all of that, was created some wisdom within me that I needed to share with others and help make a difference in other people's lives, as opposed to helping Silicon Valley get richer selling products and, software and hardware products and consumer products, which is what I was helping with. So there was this nagging feeling. I know we can all relate to that nagging feeling, and it tends to be a whisper at first, and then the more you ignore it, it gets louder and louder and louder and louder. I had that feeling started as a very low rumble, and it just kept increasing over time. I had a couple wake up calls in that process. And I think when we tune in and feel what our intuition is, where it's guiding us, and we look at external circumstances that might be happening at the same time, when you put those two together, you can see that you're being guided in a different direction. So, for example, one of the wake up calls was a car accident on the way to my job, the job that I hated, frankly. At that time in my career, I was at least 10, 12 years in, and I was already feeling like, oh gosh, like this is not a good fit. And here I am driving in thick and commute traffic in the Silicon Valley, couldn't be any more intense. And someone just slammed me as hard as, very hard from behind, and flung me so far forward. All my hair went to the front of my face. That's how hard I was hit. And then she hit multiple other cars. It was a multiple car accident. I came out of it with a concussion and whiplash, fully recovered from that. But the moment was very significant for me because I could have died that day, right? Driving to a job that I hated, having that nagging feeling still within me and not listening to it, not doing anything about it. And I was injured, and I was, it really shook me up. And what was interesting about the meeting I was going to that day was that they were announcing a new position for me in the department and managing a new team without telling me first.
Oh.
So that was what they did. I actually didn't make it to the meeting on time. I was late, but when I walked in, because I still went, which is how crazy that was. I had a concussion, I had whiplash, I was out of it, and I should have been in the hospital probably at least to get checked. Instead, I kept going, and I went after the police came and everything. I was late for the meeting. And as I was sitting there in the meeting, up comes, presentation announcing this new reorganization. And in the reorg was me in a higher level management position, managing a new team. I was never told about this. I was supposed to act happy about it. So it was this double, triple whammy of like, I know I'm not supposed to be living this life. I just almost got killed on my way to this life. And now my whole destiny and what I'm doing is being announced without anybody asking me if that was what I wanted, which of course I did not want it. So that was a very serious wake up call for me.
Well, I'll say, yeah, my goodness. Especially the, excuse me, when you said that they didn't even ask you if you wanted it, right?
Didn't even know about it. Yep. Never knew about it.
Like, do you even want this? Right? Rather than, wow, oh my
Because
goodness.
in that system, in the corporate system, you really aren't, as hard as this is to accept and believe, you really aren't, you're seen more as a number and a resource. There's a reason they call it human resources. You are a resource to them. It was just this combination of events happening with the intuitive hits I was getting, the car accident, the org chart situation. I was just totally out of alignment with who I am meant to be, what my destiny was, who I am as a human being, as a woman, my heart, soul, and spirit. I always said like I was leaving my heart at my door when I went to my job. That's never a good thing, and that's never something you have to do. And the same applies in business. Like it's not as though having your own business, being an entrepreneur, solves that.
Yeah, amazing, what happened to you, obviously, with all of those pieces. Boy, talk about resilience, and then obviously the importance of listening to your intuition, right? All right, so talk to us then. What inspired you to develop your signature Ticket to Freedom Summit?
Oh gosh. Well, for this reason, like Ticket to Freedom, right? I think of it just like that because I was stuck in that corporate life for about 21 years. So I stayed in corporate life several years after that accident. Many years, I think around another 10 years, but as a consultant. So I transitioned at that around that time of the car accident into consultancy, thinking that'll be my freedom. I'll have a consulting business
Mm.
and I won't be an employee. But my accounts were the same companies. So the big companies in the Silicon Valley, everyone would know their names. Um, and so it didn't change much for me
Mm.
because I just, they treated me like an employee, even though I was a consultant technically, and I had my own business. So the 21 years includes employment plus as a consultant.
Mm.
Um, and that lifestyle and also just being in those environments wasn't healthy for me. I mean, talk about overly masculine environment, like completely squashing any feminine and you're just trained out of that, right?
Right.
Uh, and so when I finally just said, when my gut feeling around 2013 was,
Mm.
you have got to take the leap. This is your ticket to like get out
Yeah.
and it'll be okay. You're going to build your business. You're going to be fine. Even
Mhm.
though you have no money coming in your business, you don't have a single client, you don't have any even plan for that. However, the thing I did right was I hired a coach immediately.
Mm.
And
Thank
that
you.
coach,
Yep.
yes. And I didn't expect to do it on my own. I knew that I didn't know what I didn't know. I knew that this was, even though I had the marketing career and background and also really natural sales skills, I didn't know this space, right? The online business space for me as an entrepreneur, for an individual. I knew it in the software realm or hardware or big company realm. That's different. So I hired someone to show me. And I remember when her assistant coach said, this is what you need. You need to build your email list. And
Mhm.
this is how you do it. And when I did, and Ticket to Freedom, which is basically a joint promotional collaborative experience with other people in your industry, is what I was taught in that first year. And I considered it my ticket to freedom and I named it Ticket to Freedom because that was my way to
Mm.
attract my ideal, what I call soulmate clients. Because the big question was, while I was in corporate, I did have a coaching business on the side. I had a
Cool.
life coaching business on the side, an organizational coaching business, fitness and nutrition coaching. Like I kept trying things while
Okay.
my consulting business, and it wasn't enough money for me to quit the job.
Yeah.
And so this strategy taught me, and just the collaboration, bringing people together,
Mm.
taught me that that's how to attract your soulmate clients and get them in front of you. And what I love, love, love about this experience that we've created together, Marla, with Ticket to Freedom,
Yeah.
that it does that for other people also. So all the speakers get in on that too,
Mhm.
where it's just, and then for our audience gets to receive all of this wisdom, all of this experience, all of this knowledge and education for free,
Yeah.
and all these resources, these free gifts. And I needed that when I was in that corporate job and I was stuck and depressed and hopeless. And I needed this kind of event to help me get out, to show me the way. And so I've been committed to it ever since. And there's been 11 of these because of that.
I see. I didn't even know that story. That's
Yeah.
that's so great. I mean, now I understand because I had never knew what ticket freedom really meant,
Interesting.
where that came from. That's okay. It's really core to you, building your business in the very beginning.
And helping other people find their
Mm.
ticket to freedom, right? Helping them. I needed a path, a bridge. I needed people to come alongside me at that time and show me how to discover what I was meant to do and then how to make money doing it. And this is what this is for other people because I discovered it for myself. So I want to pass that on.
Well, and I just, I really admire you for doing this, especially 11 seasons, right?
Yeah.
It is, as y'all can imagine, it's a pretty heavy lift, right? It's a lot of moving
And I
pieces.
have a team, but still, it's a
Of
lot.
course, of course. It's a lot of moving pieces.
Mhm.
But to bring together, and this is what always amazes me about the virtual summit, concept is the gathering, the amount of expertise in one place. Right?
Yeah.
it's wow. And then obviously for it to be free, right? And then we're all giving some sort of a, a lovely download of some sort and all of that. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's incredible because I've already, as I've met a handful of the speakers already. Yeah, just thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you for being part of it, Marla. 3 times now.
I know.
Fantastic. Yeah. I love that.
Third
I love that.
time. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I got the email, whenever that was a couple weeks ago, I went, oh my God, there she is.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. All right. So let's move into talking about what brings you the most joy in your business. Follow your joy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely creating resources or tools or practices to give my clients
Mhm.
to unlock their soul fuel, to be more connected. What I consider that's your divine assignment, by the way. Soul fuel is your divine assignment, your mission, your purpose. And I love creating things. I call them playbooks or video trainings or coaching call
Mhm.
teachings where I'm able to help my clients unlock even more what they're meant to do and that, how to align their business more and more to that, align their marketing, align their sales, align their copy, align their fulfillment with clients. So giving them, just resources and new ways to do that makes me really happy, really, really happy. Like working in my business with my clients directly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So fuel, which is your trademarked, right?
Yeah.
Name. So again, that means divine assignment, your purpose.
And your mission. You can, whatever word sort of lands
Yeah.
for you, but it's a spiritual calling.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. Follow that joy. So, so important. All right. So based on then to kind of wrap this up, based on your, vast experience, give us creative entrepreneurs, give us a key advice that you cannot do without this.
Yes. I know exactly what that is. And it's exactly what I discovered in 2013 when I hired that coach, which is to build your email list,
Mhm.
to not rely on social media algorithms,
Mm.
to, unless you know what you're doing and unless you have a lot of money to put behind it.
Mhm.
So the people that are winning on social media have a lot of money, pay to play, right?
Yep.
You put towards social media ads and to beat the algorithms. For most people, they don't have that money to do that yet, or they want to invest it in a different way. So the different way would be to build your email list through collaborations, through events such as, like Ticket to Freedom. I actually teach that strategy inside SoulFUEL Accelerator.
Mm.
And because it is so key, I can't be a business coach and not teach exactly how to build your email list.
Yeah.
That is still, and I'm kind of surprised, email is still a thing. Like it's still very, very, very effective
Mm.
in building those relationships with your ideal client. It's like dropping into their living room in a way. They don't have to go onto a platform that's social, that's public, that's, maybe sometimes you can be seen that you're online. You can just open your email. So
Mm.
people are still doing it. Open rates are still strong. Click
Mm.
through rates are still strong. And it's more intimate, right? You're receiving that email. It feels like a one-to-one.
Yeah.
And that you own your email list, right? You're not renting space on social media platforms, which
Mm.
is what happens when you're on social media, whatever platform you're using, they decide who sees what. Versus you owning your email list and being able to email them anytime you want and them being able to have access to you anytime.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, having started again in 2008, and me too. And again, I hired right off the bat, like, okay, how do you do this email marketing and social media, this marketing system, right? And that was taught then, right? And I was then teaching my clients who didn't even know what I think it was called an e-zine back then,
Oh yeah.
right? Remember that was an e,
Yeah.
and then it turned into the word newsletter. But yes, and I'm on constant contact, right?
Uh,
I have active as one of my kind of back supporting programs. I'm on constant contact since 2006. Right?
wow. Yeah.
Seriously. I've been with them that long, but to me, they're my favorite. But the point is, it's your way. I mean, I don't know about you, but like when I am either writing for my team, my email, because I love to write. It's who I am. I typically am the one that's writing whatever typically goes out, but it's my way of connecting to my people. Yes,
Mhm.
we have social media, but this feels way more intimate. And being a creative and a writer, I'm literally energetically kind of feeling them as I'm writing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm going directly to them.
Hmm.
So you're right. It's this kind of intimate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. So, so yes, I think that's one of the wisest piece of advice for business today, regardless of what other people say. Oh, even,
Yeah.
not the way it used to be or whatever the, hearsay is. But you're
Mhm.
right. You're
Yeah.
100% right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Hmm.
Okay, so where can people get in touch with you and what would you like to offer?
Well, I have a really fun Soul Fuel starter bundle.
Okay.
You can go to soulfuelstarter.com to grab that. And what you will get is an audio program where I share a couple personal stories um, outside of what I shared today. And you also get 5 steps to confidence and clarity to scale your soul fueled business and impact the world in a big way, in your way. There's also 2 playbooks that come along with this. So you can, one of them is to identify the passions you have that you should monetize in your business versus the ones that are draining you or the ones that aren't really your true genius. And then there's another playbook called Soul Fuel Sparks to just kind of get you tapped into your soul fuel, at least the initial stages of that. So that's what's included in the Soul Fuel Starter Bundle. Happy to offer it.
Oh, terrific. All right. And I'll make sure that obviously it's in the show notes. Boy, that's pretty abundant. Thank you for doing that. I
Of
mean,
course.
really, it's a great way to get started.
Yeah.
Um, 5 steps to confidence and clarity to create your soul-fueled business and impact the world in a big way. Yep, that's it. Oh, okay. My goodness. I know there's plenty of more kind of amazing stories that you have to share, and perhaps we have you back to share,
Yeah. Love that.
and especially some of the personal challenges I know that you've had that you've shared with me that are really, it's under the concept of what's personal is universal, right?
Hmm.
And, I would love for my audience to even hear more of that.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And
Have it.
everybody, right? Appreciate Wendy
Aw.
being here with us, sharing. Really, I mean, look at how much knowledge and expertise that obviously Wendy has. Please go to her site.
Mm.
And as well, please join us, right? I'm going to have a link below in the show notes to Ticket to Freedom. I'm one of, how many speakers are there now?
20. There's 20.
20. Okay, so I'm one of 20 speakers. Again, they're all phenomenal. It's free. Link below in the show notes to sign up. It started December 10th. It goes through the 17th. So it's a full.
Actually, through the 19th.
Oh, the 19th.
We'll go through the 19th. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, like I said, the 19th.
Yeah. That's awesome. Perfect. No problem.
So you have a good 9 days, everybody, to, experience that, obviously get what you feel is needed for yourself. And yeah, wonderful. Wow. Like I said, I could keep going on. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Be well, be blessed, and I will absolutely see you on the next episode. Bye-bye for now. Hey, thanks for listening. You can find more entrepreneurial stories and resources at marladiane.com. And while you're there, enjoy my free downloads to uplevel your business and your life. And Instagram. It's my favorite place to hang out. Let's connect there. If you received inspiration from the episode, I'd sure appreciate a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Until next episode, take care.